DD India.
After the resignation of Chief Minister Vijay Rupani in Gujarat, state politics has come to centre stage over suspense prevailing over the name of the new Chief Minister. Gujarat BJP Legislature party will hold discussions. All BJP MLAs were asked to reach Gandhinagar. Centre appoints Prahlad Joshi and Narendra Singh Tomar as observers. In a first 2+2 ministerial dialogue between India and Australia, cooperation and discussion took place in cybersecurity and defence. Emphasis given on strategic meeting on making Indo-Pacific Ocean a free shipping and rules-based region. Talks focused on increasing cooperation between the Quad countries. Central government reduces standard rate on crude palm, soybean and sunflower oil by 2.5% to ensure availability of edible oils at reasonable prices to consumers. New rates effective from Saturday. Nationwide COVID vaccination campaign continues successfully. So far, more than 73 lakh vaccines have been administered across the country. Vaccine given to 64 lakh people on the 239th day of the campaign. And in sports, Britain's Emma Raducanu becomes the first Open women's singles champion. 18-year-old Raducanu defeated Canada's Leila Fernandez for 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets and won her maiden Grand Slam title. She becomes the first British female tennis player after 44 years to win a Grand Slam. Cristiano Ronaldo scores brace in his second Premier League debut, marking his strong return to the English club Manchester United after 12 years. Helps Manchester United beat Newcastle 4-1 to top the league. Good morning, you're watching DD India and I'm Preeti presenting this edition of the news. Our top story first. The Union government is committed to accelerating the pace and expanding the scope of COVID vaccination throughout the country. India's COVID vaccination coverage has stood at 73,73,67,313. More than 64,49,000 vaccine doses have been administered on Saturday. And after the resignation of Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, state politics has come to the centre stage over the suspense prevailing over the name of the new Chief Minister. Gujarat BJP Legislature party will hold discussions in Gandhinagar today to finalise the next Chief Minister of Gujarat after the unexpected resignation of Vijay Rupani. The centre has appointed Prahlad Joshi and Narendra Singh Tomar as BJP's central observers. BJP Legislative Party meeting will be held today. Earlier on Saturday, Rupani announced that he is stepping down as the Chief Minister of Gujarat and thanked the party leadership for giving him the opportunity to serve the people of the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently interacted with the para-athletes who had brought glory to India at the Tokyo Olympics. The video footage of his interaction with para-athletes will be launched today. Prime Minister shared a glimpse of the event in a trailer video posted in the tweet where he was seen talking and interacting with Paralympians who had marked a historic win at the Tokyo Olympics.
प्रधानमंत्री आपसे बात कर रहे हैं, हमारा प्रेसिडेंट या प्राइम मिनिस्टर जैसे हमसे पर्सनली नहीं बात करते।
पूरी टीम यानी आपके साथ, आपके सपोर्टिंग साथ जापान में भारत की एक अच्छी प्रतिष्ठा बढ़ा करके आप लोग आए। सिर्फ मेडल लेके आए ऐसा नहीं, आपका कंडक्ट, आपका सबसे बातचीत करने का, तो सारी चीज़ों का एक अच्छा पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट गया। और ये क्योंकि जब आप खेलने जाते हो तो एक प्रकार से आप भारत के एम्बेसडर होते हैं, आपको लोग देखते हैं तो भारत को देखते हैं।
And in a tweet, Prime Minister Modi informed an interaction with our champions who brought back pride and glory from Tokyo. Watch the interesting interaction with our para-athletes at 11 a.m. India and Australia laid out an ambitious framework for defence partnership on Saturday, with Afghanistan forming a major subject of talks at their maiden 2+2 ministerial dialogue. The two countries also discussed cooperation in multilateral formats, also along with the need to strengthen maritime security cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region. Emphasis was also given on ensuring free flow of trade, adherence to international rules and sustainable economic growth in the entire region. India has also invited Australia to engage in India's growing defence industry. We get more in this report.
On Saturday, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh opened the 2+2 event by acknowledging robust defence ties over the years between India and Australia. Rajnath Singh noted both sides appreciated continued participation of Australia in the Malabar exercises. He also gave a sense how India looks forward to collaborations, co-production and co-development of defence equipment from Australia.
Bilateral defence cooperation पर हमने सभी सर्विसेज में मिलिट्री इंगेजमेंट्स का विस्तार करने, ग्रेटर डिफेंस इंफॉर्मेशन करने की सुविधा प्रदान करने और म्यूचुअल लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट के लिए मिलकर काम करने का भी निर्णय लिया है। डिफेंस कोऑपरेशन के संदर्भ में मालाबार एक्सरसाइजेज में ऑस्ट्रेलिया की निरंतर भागीदारी को देखकर दोनों पक्षों को प्रसन्नता हुई है। हमने ऑस्ट्रेलिया को भारत के बढ़ते रक्षा उद्योग में शामिल होने और रक्षा उपकरणों के को प्रोडक्शन और को डेवलपमेंट में सहयोग करने के लिए भी आमंत्रित किया है।
Both the foreign ministers and the defence ministers discussed a wide range of issues, though the matter of central concern was obviously the continuously evolving situation in Afghanistan. Besides that, several issues were also discussed on the defence sector.
Highlighting the unique relationship between India and Australia, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar said that the meeting also focused on Afghanistan. Answering a question on China calling Quad as Asian NATO, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that Quad is a platform where 4 countries have come to cooperate for their benefit and for the benefit of the world. Quad looks in the future and reflects globalization and is focused on the issues of vaccines, supply chains, education and connectivity.
The kind of issues Quad is focused on today: vaccines, supply chains, education, connectivity. I can't see any relationship between such issues and NATO or any other kind of organizations like that. So I think it's important not to misrepresent what is the reality out there.
Australian Foreign Minister Maris Payne acknowledged that 2+2 comprehensive strategic partnership underlined positive vision, with issues of the Indo-Pacific region also being accorded importance.
Australia and India share a positive vision of a free, open, secure, inclusive Indo-Pacific. As maritime powers and outward-looking democracies in the Indo-Pacific, our cooperation is essential. We've talked today about many things, but including the strong and enduring Australia-India relationships in trade, in community links, in cyber and climate and defence.
Referring to India-Australia relationship touching a historic height, the Australian Defence Minister Peter Dutton elaborated on concerted focus on strategic partnership in armed forces activities, security partnership and also ensuring rules-based international order.
The friendship and partnership between our two nations is essential for helping to ensure our region is secure and stable. Continue to collaborate in other areas like defence science and technology, and importantly cyber security. Such activities are paving the way for deeper and more sophisticated operational cooperation between our two nations.
During the discussions, both sides emphasized the need to ensure free flow of trade, adherence to international rules and norms, and sustainable economic growth in the entire region. On the bilateral defence cooperation, India-Australia 2+2 framework have agreed to expand military engagements across services, facilitate greater defence information sharing, and to work closely for mutual logistic support. With inputs from Meghna Dev, Bureau Report, DD India.
Responding specifically to the question of Afghanistan being discussed in the 2+2 Indo-Australia dialogue, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that the concerns about the inclusiveness of dispensation, treatment of women and minorities, and matters related to travel of Afghans and issues relating to humanitarian assistance were also discussed. He also said that Afghanistan soil must not be used in any manner by anybody for terror activities.
We had a very detailed exchange of views, and our approach is very similar. In a way, it is summed up by the UN Security Council Resolution 2593, which emphasizes most of all that Afghanistan must not allow its soil to be used in any manner by anybody for terrorism. But apart from that, there were issues of concern about the inclusiveness of the dispensation, concerns about treatment of women and minorities.
Also taking a position on Afghanistan, Australian Foreign Minister said that the future of Afghanistan remains a central concern to both our countries. Both the countries have been the victims of appalling terrorist attacks, and on this day, on 11th September, will be remembered for those terrible events 20 years ago.
Along with the ongoing fight of terrorism, the future of Afghanistan remains a central concern to both of our countries. Both of our countries have been the victims of appalling terrorist attacks. And this day, the 11th of September, will be forever remembered for those terrible events of 20 years ago, when terrorism struck at the heart of our friend, the United States, and by extension also our modern, pluralist and democratic world.
And now let's take a look at the highlights of the joint statement on inaugural India-Australia 2+2 ministerial dialogue. India and Australia reiterated the importance of advancing shared objective of an open, free and rules-based Indo-Pacific region, welcoming India's Vaccine Maitri initiative. The ministers agreed to deepen cooperation in vaccine manufacturing, including under the Quad network, to deliver high-quality vaccine to Indo-Pacific partners. The ministers also noted with appreciation that Australian and Indian researchers are working together to advance COVID screening and also study the future health effects of the virus through projects funded by Australia-India Strategic Research Fund. Both the sides reaffirmed the commitment towards supporting a strong, resilient and inclusive regional architecture with ASEAN at its centre. The ministers underscored their deep concerns regarding the developments in Myanmar and its impact on regional stability. They reiterated their call to cease violence, restore democracy, to release all political detainees and also engage in dialogue. Australia reaffirmed its support to India's candidacy for permanent membership of the UNSC. On Afghanistan, the ministers called for Taliban to guarantee safe passage for foreign nationals and Afghans wanting to leave the country. Both the sides look forward to holding the next 2+2 ministerial dialogue in 2023. Australian Foreign Minister and Australian Defence Minister also called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ministry of External Affairs said that our leaders' guidance and commitment to India and Australia relations has lent significant momentum to our ties. As part of the ongoing Poshan Maah, which is being celebrated under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani, attended a program at Imphal, Manipur on Saturday. Delivering the keynote address at the event at the City Convention Centre in Imphal, the minister said that public participation in the Nutrition Month, that is Poshan Maah, is converting nutrition awareness into a mass movement. She also highlighted the achievement of providing hygienic toilets to crores of people in the last 5 to 6 years. Prime Minister on October 2nd, 2014 had launched the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan with the aim of making India open defecation free.
मात्र आंगनबाड़ी से प्रेरित अथवा आंगनबाड़ी तक सीमित नहीं है। एक जन आंदोलन है, जन अभियान है। It has a social, a moral and an economic cost.
And Poshan Maah is being celebrated under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And as we told you, Smriti Irani attended the program at Imphal in Manipur. Union Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia and Telangana IT Minister K. Tarka Ramarao formally launched the Medicine from the Sky project in Telangana. The project is a first of its kind in India, as it is first organized drone service in the healthcare sector for delivering medicines and COVID vaccines. Medicine from the Sky is an initiative of the state government led by the Emerging Technologies wing of the IT department in partnership with the World Economic Forum, Niti Aayog and also HealthNet Global. The project has received the final regulatory approval from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. The Medicine from Sky project is expected to be very useful, especially for remote areas in the state in delivering emergency medicines and also vaccines.
और हम कभी कल्पना नहीं कर पाते थे, वो इन्होंने करके दिखाया है। एक छोटी सी मशीन, एक हेलीकॉप्टर के रूप में, उसमें वैक्सीन, उसमें दवाई, हम समझ सकते हैं कि कुरियर की कंपनी डब्बा लेके जाएगी कहीं, और आज जो हमने डब्बे देखे, कि केवल डब्बे नहीं है लेकिन डब्बे पे मीटर लगा हुआ है। वो मीटर दिखाता है कि किस टेम्परेचर पे अंदर वैक्सीन रखी गई है, 2 से 8 डिग्री तक, और वो वैक्सीन इस ड्रोन में जाके दूर दराज गांव में पहुंचता है।
The government has reduced the import duty on edible oils with immediate effect, which may cool down the prices of these key kitchen items. Now, according to Finance Ministry, the base import duty on crude palm oil has been reduced to 2.5% from 10%, while the tax on crude soya oil and crude sunflower oil has been reduced to 2.5% from 7.5%. In order to ensure availability of edible oil to consumers at fair prices, the standard rate of duty on refined palm oils, refined soybean oil and refined sunflower oil have been reduced to 32.5%. The agri cess for crude palm oil has also been increased from 17.5% to 20%. Earlier also, between February this year and August this year, the government had taken series of steps to mitigate the rise in these prices. The steps included rationalization of import duty, amending the import policy of refined palm oil from restricted to free, reducing the standard rate of duty on crude soybean oil, crude sunflower oil, refined soybean oil and sunflower oil, facilitation at various ports by the government agencies, and also speeding up clearances of consignments of the imported edible oils, which were also delayed due to COVID. And up next, we take a look at international updates. We begin with updates from Afghanistan. A convoy of Taliban fighters was seen entering the city of Kandahar as group of supporters waved flags. Small groups of Taliban supporters were seen waving the group's White Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan flag and also posing for photographs as the fighters patrolled the street of the city. Commander Maulvi Ghaffar Agha, who travelled with the convoy, said that Taliban had achieved the goal after 20 years and that they were ready to serve the oppressed people of Afghanistan. The spokesman for the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, Zabihullah Mujahid, said on Saturday that they had complete control over the country, including Panjshir, and that there was peace everywhere. And thousands of Catalans marched through the centre of their region's capital, Barcelona, on Saturday to demand independence from Spain. The protest, organised by the grassroots Assemblea Nacional Catalana, that is ANC, was the first since Spain's government pardoned 9 Catalan separatist leaders who had been jailed for their role in a 2017 botched bid for independence, which was Spain's biggest political crisis in decades. Most people wore face coverings at the march, whose motto was "Let's fight and win independence." Around 108,000 people took part, according to the local police, while ANC put the figures close to 400,000. The figure was lower than in 2019, when about 600,000 marched, and last year, when only small static protests were organised to comply with COVID restrictions. Palestinian militants fired a rocket from the Gaza Strip into Israel on Saturday night after Israeli forces captured 2 more of 6 Palestinian militants who escaped from a maximum security jail this week. The Israeli military said that the rocket attack was intercepted and that there was no immediate report of casualties. The 2 men were found in a truck parking lot in an Arab village in northern Israel near the city of Nazareth, where 2 other escapees were captured hours earlier. Hundreds of Madrid residents on Saturday protested against homophobic attacks that have rocked Spain in recent months. Homophobic violence has been in the spotlight in Spain after the killing of a nursing assistant, Samuel Louis, who was beaten to death in the northwestern city of Galicia in July, allegedly because of his sexual orientation. Spain has been a pioneer in the rights for LGBT community, allowing same-sex marriages since 2005. A recent survey of 8 Western countries by British pollster YouGov found that Spain had the highest proportion of people who identified as LGBT. In Italy, the small island of Pantelleria on Saturday assessed damage after a rare tornado hit a coastal road, killing 2 people and injuring 9. A video released by the local media showed images of several overturned vehicles and damaged buildings after the windstorm swept up cars and whipped down the coastal roads. The tornado killed an off-duty firefighter and an 86-year-old man who were traveling by car on Friday evening on the popular tourist island of Sicily. Rescuers on Saturday were still looking for any potential missing people while working to reopen roads damaged by the storm. Anger over wildfires in Spain's Estepona continued to smolder on Saturday as local residents and officials accused authorities of inaction. 4 days of continuous blazes have driven more than 1,000 people from their homes and killed an emergency worker. Andalusia's Regional Forest Fire Agency on Friday ordered the withdrawal of most of its firefighters as strong winds and high late summer temperatures created a dangerous fire cloud in the area. Authorities upgraded the fire's classification a notch to level 2, triggering the intervention of the central government, which contributed 2 planes and a Kamov helicopter to the operation, bringing the total aircraft deployed to up to 69. Regional Environment Chief said on Friday that the blaze appeared to have been started deliberately and that investigators were working to uncover more details. Just over 1,000 people have been evacuated, including 1 casualty of a 44-year-old firefighter. And up next, a quick look at the global COVID situation. As per the figures, over 22.5 crore people have contracted the virus so far, while more than 20 crore patients have recovered from it. The deadly virus has claimed the lives of over 46,37,000 people globally. The US has been witnessing a resurge in the new COVID cases due to the Delta variant of the virus, and more than 4 crore 18 lakh cases and over 6,77,000 deaths have been reported in the country. Britain's Emma Raducanu became the US Open Women's Singles Champion. The 18-year-old Raducanu defeated Canada's Leila Fernandez for 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets to win her maiden Grand Slam title. Emma becomes the first British female tennis player after 44 years to win a Grand Slam. It was the first Grand Slam final for both the players. And Cristiano Ronaldo scored a brace in his second Premier League debut, marking his strong return to English club Manchester United after 12 years. Helped Manchester United register a 4-1 win against Newcastle in an EPL match on Saturday night. And Ronaldo played an important role in the team's victory by scoring 2 goals in the first match after his return. That's it in this edition of the News. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.